I'm Tommy Lee, and this is the Scam of the Week. We welcome back Jan Diaz, the president and CEO of Your Better Business Bureau, serving Northern Indiana. Jan, good to have you back. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Tommy. I'm doing well. It's really great to be back and be part of the conversation.
Now, today we're diving into a topic that's been making a lot of headlines and causing quite a stir among consumers, and that is fake going out of business sales. I know I've seen them with recent news about Jo-Ann Fabrics declaring bankruptcy and closing all their physical store locations. A lot of scammers are seizing the opportunity to exploit unsuspecting shoppers, yes?
Yeah, that's right, Tommy. So news of a popular retailer going out of business and closing its stores, creating an opportunity for scammers to take advantage of the situation. So these scammers can step in and take advantage of people's trust and emotions, and that's exactly the trend that we're seeing when a store is closing.
All right, let's start off by understanding how these scams typically operate. Can you walk us through the process?
Yeah, absolutely. So scammers often begin, they're creating fake websites that closely resemble legitimate retailers like Jo-Ann Fabrics, and the scammers use the company's real logos and images to make the site appear authentic. Then the scammers promote these counterfeit sites through social media ads, claiming massive discounts, often 80 to 90% off on merchandise. And when you click on these ads, you're directed to a fake website where you're enticed to make purchases.
Well, so even if somebody's trying to be careful, it could still be really difficult to tell the difference between real and not real.
Exactly. So these counterfeit websites are often professionally designed and they're made to look real, but there are some red flags that can tip you off. So one of the most important things to check is the URL. A real website for Jo-Ann is joann.com. But a scam site might be something like joannclosing.shop or joannoutlet.store. The names are close, but they're not the same. So that's your first clue that something is off.
And that's a very easy detail to miss. And I'm guessing that the deals they offer are, of course, too good to be true.
That's absolutely right. You'll see ads claiming that everything is 80 to 90% off. Now, even in a legitimate liquidation sale, these kinds of across-the-board discounts are rare. So scammers know people don't want to miss out, so they create an urgency to act fast by making you think you will lose out on a good deal if you don't act now. And they want you to act quickly without thinking, because the more time you take, the more likely you are to notice that something is wrong.
So let's say that someone goes ahead and makes a purchase from one of these fake sites. What happens then?
Well, in most cases, either the items never arrive or what does arrive is completely different from what was advertised. It might be lower quality, it might be a miniature version or a knockoff version of what you thought you were getting. But worse than that, once you've entered your personal and payment information, scammers now have access to your credit card details and potentially other sensitive data. So that can open the door for financial fraud and identity theft.
Scary stuff that we've talked about time and time again. So what is the best way for somebody to protect themselves from these fake going out of business sites?
Yeah, great question. First, always go directly to the official website. Type in the address yourself rather than clicking on an ad, and then avoid any site that ends in anything other than .com, especially sketchy domains like .shop or .store, because those are often used in scams. And then second, also always use a credit card, not a debit card, when shopping online, because using a credit card gives you stronger protection if something does go wrong. And also avoid using wire transfers or payment apps for purchases unless you're sure it's legitimate. And then also look for a working customer service number. Look for the return policy or company contact details. If the website is missing that info or what is on the site looks copied or poorly written, that's a sign you should walk away.
So what about customer reviews? I know a lot of people depend on those. Can they help?
Yes, they can, but we do caution you to just be careful. Some scam sites actually fake their reviews. So it's a good idea to look up the retailer name along with the word scam or review in a search engine like Google and just see what people are saying on these other websites. If others have been tricked by the same scam, you're usually going to find warnings from other customers.
Jan, as always, this is all incredibly helpful information, but let's talk about the next steps. If somebody thinks that they have fallen for one of the fake going out of business sale sites, what should they do?
Yeah, well, the first thing is don't panic, but act quickly. So they can report the scam to the Better Business Bureau using our scam tracker at bbb.org/scam tracker. And then reporting it does help alert others and gives us the data that we need to investigate and shut these types of scams down. And then file a report with the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. And this helps the government track broader trends in online fraud. Contact your credit card company is another thing, but do that right away because you can dispute the charge and prevent further unauthorized transactions from your credit card. And then finally, monitor your credit reports for any suspicious activity. We recommend placing a fraud alert or even a credit freeze on your credit report to protect your accounts as an extra precaution.
It's scary and amazing how quickly things can snowball from just one little click. And this makes staying alert all the more important. You got to make sure you do your homework and stay on top of your game.
Yes, absolutely. Because scammers count on people being busy or distracted. And most of us are. By just taking a moment just to verify the web address or being skeptical of any ad offering massive discounts can save you a lot of trouble.
So to everybody listening, make sure you shop smart, slow down, think before you click. Don't let the words going out of business push you into making a hurried, bad decision. And once again, bbb.org has the resources you need. Thanks again, Jan. We will talk to you again next time for the Scam of the Week.
Sounds good, Tommy. Thanks so much.
Podcasts by Federated Media.